a curiosity because I know a lot of names, as you know too, Dad, were changed inadvertently, whether they intended to or not, the very moment they touched down Ellis Island because these immigration agents spelled it and wrote it the way they pleased. Now, was the name Scher spelled with two E's because it started there, or was it spelled that way before?
Yeah, it was on two E's.
Two E's.
Two E's. I threw one out myself.
Okay, now
Yeah.
well, let me just clarify that. Was it two E's in Europe as well? Is that it?
In Europe was two
Okay,
E's.
so it wasn't changed by the immigration.
The immigration
inspector.
changed nothing. No,
Okay,
they changed.
okay.
As a matter of fact, I didn't come in the name Scher.
Oh.
I came on the name Simcha Cartagena
And Cartagena
as
was
a son to
was-
my stepfather.
was Mom's family name.
Yeah, the husband, the second husband.
Was there any reason for coming under Cartagena?
Well, he sent me the ticket as he's my father.
Oh, I see.
I'm coming to a father.
So it shouldn't raise any question. Then.
Right, I had
see.
no trouble at all. And
What was your first day, night, or whatever, in the United States? Where
oh,
was
well,
it
he
spent?
took me over to Rosie, you know how it
Yeah,
was.
and Aunt Rosie, Mom's oldest sister.
That's right.
Oldest
Yeah,
sister.
at that time they had a system, immigrants, it was heavy immigration. Mostly every immigrant had somewhere to go in for a while, for a shorter time, a longer time, whatever it is.
Right.
And especially my stepfather, he lived at that time with his married daughter on Rivington Street.
Right.
So he took me in there.
Mm-hmm.
And they received me pretty well.
That was one of these typical tenements that you hear about?
Oh, my goodness, typical tenement. You can write a book.
Like what?
Like what? You couldn't believe this was United States.
Meaning what?
Meaning filthy, dirty, poverty. Such a poverty.
Crowded?
Crowded, poverty, dirty, filthy. There was no electric lights on the streets.
Really?
Honest to goodness, they had.
Now, this is 1910.
1910.
Okay.
They had trolley cars pulled by horses.
Mm-hmm.
I remember like now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, I remember on Hawthorne Street, no electricity, where we
That's right.
where we had light by
Yeah.
gas globes. So
yeah. But can you imagine? It was
that
almost
came in later.
almost the same system in the streets, in New York City streets.
One of the biggest cities.
There was like mental, or they used to call it. Or something.
well, they had gas on the
They had
public
gas
streets,
and
too.
air, I think, a mixture in those
For the
lamps.
street lights.
Yeah, street lights. So they used to have take schoolboys after school when it started to get dark or a certain time. He used to go around with a hook. Those lamps had little chains with
Right.
a ring, you know. You put that hook and you pull the chain, so the light went on.
It would light it.
They had their own districts, and of course the boys made a few bucks that way.
Right.
And that's the way the streets were lit up.
Mm-hmm.
And in the morning they used to shut off the lights the same way.
Right.
Pull the hook.
It was an extra job for the
Say,
schoolboys.
that's right, but that was the lights. But those lights came handy, all right. When that time there was not much work to be gotten, and there was an English paper, I believe they used to call it New York World,
Right.
and there was also a Jewish paper, Morning Journal.
The Morning Journal.
Morning Journal, yeah, and Morning Journal, and they had mostly classified ads for jobs, you know. So people used to grab those papers and run to those lights, near the lights, early in about 4 o'clock in the morning, and look in those papers where they can see an opening for a job.
Be the first ones there.
And everybody ran to there, and there wasn't even a sign where the shop would be open.
Let's go back just a bit now. Your first days or weeks or whatever in this country, and tell me what you can remember about it. You didn't start to work right away, or
Oh
soon
no,
after.
where can you work? But
So
Rosie
what'd
had
you do?
no Rosie, the same my stepsister, my stepfather's daughter.
Right.
She had an acquaintance there next block in a bakery where she used to buy bread.
Right.
And she asked for the job for me.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave me a job as a helper. You know, I was a full-fledged baker. The only thing is, I couldn't get into the union here. They had a union.
It was a very tight union at that time?
Very heavy union that time, already in 1910, but it was like a monopoly, like a trust.
Right.
You couldn't get into the union unless because they really had a good system, because once you get into the union, they have to give you work.
Right.
And if they didn't have enough work themselves, how are they going to take you in?
Right.
That's number one. Number two, I was short grown, 16 and a half years old, maybe 17 already that time. 16 and a half. How, they're not going to... So, but I took any kind of job that time. So, $6 a week. 18 hours a day.
18 hours a day
Well,
for $6?
no limit. No
Yeah.
limit. Just no limit. I say 18, so for 17, for 16, maybe more. Then when I finished, I couldn't do the real baker work. I couldn't do because that belonged to the union man.
Right.
But they gave me the dirty work.
Mhm.
And sometimes when it was real work, but hard work, which they wanted to get away with it, so they gave it to me.
Mhm.
See, and they also watched that the delegate shouldn't come in. They used to walk around a delegate at night watching that they shouldn't work more than that time. I think they had 10 hours,
Mhm.
union hours.
But they still got around it anyhow.
Oh yeah, the delegate used to walk around and make sure when he comes in, I should. So when they put me in to make a dough by hand, there was no machines that time for dough mixers. I used to make by hand.
Boy,
It was
that must have
too
been a
tough for
job.
them, but I knew how to make it, so they hit me into that, and I used to make that dough many times.
How long did you stay on that job? When
Oh
the first
yeah,
one
I
hit?
worked, and you think I used to clean and scrub, and not only this. When it came early in the morning after a hard night's work, he used to give me a pushcart, deliver orders to the grocery.
So you worked inside and outside.
Inside, I remember it used to be pushcarts on two wheels. I used to hold it in two wheels, and I didn't even know I was a greenhorn. I couldn't know. I knew the streets, but it was different. I knew Polish. That was in English.
Mm.
So he told me this and this street. Go look. So I looked. I pushed the pushcart around, and all right. Many times I found a place. 10 times I had to come back. I couldn't find a place. Anyway, that's it. And how many times
Dad,
he gave me the same pushcart when he had stuff left over. He saw he can't sell it. Honest, that was a disgrace. He loaded up that pushcart full of bagel, challis, verstinken, all kind of crap. Go out and sell it.
Really?
To
Sell
the,
it
wi-
from the
to the
pushcart?
women, yeah.
Really?
I remember like now Pitt
Okay.
Street on the corner of Pitt and Rivington.
Huh.
It's still there. Today, of course, today you got Puerto Rican.
Now there was an episode which you told me, and I'm just wondering how that fit in to your first days of arrival in this country. You told a story one time of sleeping on a park bench,
Oh,
and
yeah.
somebody stole one of your shoes.
Oh, well.
When did that come
Well,
in the
that
picture?
just it. That's very near to the story.
Okay, fine.
It's
Take
very
it.
near to
All
this
right,
story.
then, lead
Because
up to it.
when he really tortured me to death in this country, can you imagine? Now he used to send me out in the corners to sell this stuff to the women, to was inferior stuff and everything else.
Right.
I just couldn't take it, but I tried to sell it. But I had no rest. I couldn't take it, and then he gave me $6 a week. So I decided, well, for all that work, I'm at least worth $8 a week.
Mm-hmm.
So I made up my mind, as I know as tough as it is to get another job, but I'll ask him for $2 a raise. Well, I made up my mind, come what it may, I'll have to get the $2. So I asked him. He says, oh, no. He didn't want to give me $2. I says, okay, you don't give me $2, I wouldn't work. He says, okay, so you don't work. I took my working shoes, working clothes, and pack it up and go. He sees that I mean business. He runs after me. Okay, Boyola, come, I'll give you the job.
A little
That's
boy.
true, yeah. Well, I was a little boy.
Boyola.
Okay, Boyola, come on, come. You got the job. I'll give you the $2. I was so happy, my goodness. I put away my stuff. I came upstairs to Rosie, my stepfather's daughter. I was so happy. They were happy. I'm getting $8 a week already. $8 a week. Baker is a baker. Trade is a trade. Okay. Sure enough, I worked 1 week, and he gave me a kick in behind.
He threw you out.
He threw me out.
Oh my! He was going to get even with you.
During that week, he must have looked up another guy for even maybe less than $6 a week. He didn't have no trouble that time to get a job.
Right.
He could go even to the boat and pick up workers. So so I lost my job.
Oh my.
I had nothing no more. Nothing. Can you imagine? So I had no job, and I couldn't get any other job, and so, and that's where another story began. I couldn't pay for my room. I paid that time, I believe, $3 for the $3.50 room and board.
A week or a month? Then?
A week.
A week.
Room and board.
This is to Aunt Rosie.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I saw already that I can't pay and this and that. So she trusted me, of course, or not that I blame her. She didn't have too much herself. But I figured like this: she's poor, and I can't expect to stay there and eat without money. So I told her, please, I says, let me just have put my head down where I can sleep. Don't cook for me. Whatever I can find food, I will find, but don't cook for me. Well, so of course so I stopped eating there. All right. I remember like now, on a very Friday night,